Welcome to the show, Jeffrey.
Thank you. Of course, caught up in that festivities traffic. Just if you go to Kara Bridge right now, it's literally chaotic. People are racing out of the city of Lagos. I just got told myself, who is left in Lagos? Who is going to be left in Lagos after what I saw today? And this is just before 7 a.m. So you can imagine what happens between now and say 9 a.m. So safe journey to all the people traveling. That's all I can say. But let's get straight to the dailies, guys. Where do we start from? Maybe the Blueprint newspaper, right? Okay, let's get started with the Blueprint newspaper, where it's leading with something quite important. Disinformation played significant role in Nigerian civil war. Disinformation played significant role in Nigerian civil war. That's coming from former President Olusegun Obasanjo, talking about the role of disinformation. There is misinformation, there is disinformation, which simply talks about deliberately twisting the facts for an agenda in that sense. If you want to find out the details of that, you can go to page 8 of the Blueprint newspaper. And just beside it, you see Salah, RAM prices soar, traders lament. RAM prices soar, traders lament. I wish I could know the exact price of RAM right now, but within my neighborhood, I saw like 6 cows. I was like, okay, this inflation doesn't seem to have anything on the people around, but it's good to see that despite whatever it is, people are taking advantage of whatever it is they can take advantage of to celebrate this Salah as much as possible.
Well, you can get an idea from our conversation with the gentleman yesterday that RAM is hovering around, in terms of pricing, between 300 and 400,000 naira. Now, that is an all-time high because, you know, some people purchased RAM for around between 50 and 60,000 naira just 2 years ago. But that's the current reality. Away from RAM prices and Salah celebration, let's head over to the Guardian newspaper this morning and take a look at what the big story is saying. Now, look at it. Donor fatigue hits 331 PHCs, over 400 staff put north in dire straits. And top that, you see foreign aid withdrawals. That's the big story on the front page of The Guardian. And, you know, there are some explainers. United States of America, $60 billion cut, 90% cut in USAID aid contracts, halting global development and humanitarian programs. You see United Kingdom, £6 billion cut, aid reduced from 0.5% to 0.3% of GNI by 2027. European Union, 2 billion I believe euro cut proposed. The EU plans a 2 billion euro aid cut. You know, so that's a big reality staring us in the face there. And, you know, following that U.S. policy under the Trump administration, there have been reflections on about how Nigeria needs to begin to look inwards and fund its critical sectors by itself. And that's it from that particular story. But take a look at the one above the big story. Natasha caught someone Akpabio Mwebonyi for defamation. Find details on the inside pages. You'll particularly find the details on page 5 of the Guardian newspaper. That's it for the Guardian this morning.
I can't help but just notice that story about defection rumors swirling as Adeleke Fubara meets Tinubu in Lagos. Well, the governor of Osun State met the president with his nephew and his brother, so they're all defecting as well in that sense. Well, take a look at the front page of New Telegraph newspaper, and this is what you find there, what I just spoke about. Defections won't save APC. 2027 will be a referendum. That's coming from the PDP. Says party stronger after NEC meeting. We'll bounce back, Saraki says. So, yeah, pages 2 and 7 of a New Telegraph newspaper today. And I love the optimism of politicians. So maybe there's something we're not seeing that the PDP is seeing. from the inside, but we have the benefit of inside view and outside view. And what we're seeing, well, let's just say, maybe different from what we're reading here. But again, maybe they're seeing something we're not. And I think it's even for the good of democracy that we have a strong PDP or a strong Labour Party, strong opposition. So that is our desire, that we have that. But hey, optimism is not just a strategy. You need to do the work. So that's the big story on the front page of the New Telegraph newspaper this morning. And as we count down to June the 12th, you can see on the front page, my parents sacrificed a lot for Nigeria, Lekon Abiola. And I must also mention the big picture on the front page, just right after we had that conversation with the executive officer of CIPS, that's Chartered Institute of Procurement and Supply, Mr. Ben Farrell. He had a meeting with the governor of Lagos State. So exactly, we hope that the issues around procurement are really escalated to that level so we can reduce corruption around procurement and the rest.
It's going to take a long haul to be able to read corruption in the system, except there's something really aggressive, which is what some of us are expecting the present administration to do. I haven't seen enough sufficient willpower and sufficient, in terms of legislation and action, to show that, in fact, any government, even Buhari, Muhammad Buhari, former president, who touted the issue of anti-corruption, at some point he knew that the institution of corruption was even stronger than him. And unfortunately, his health also took a hit in that sense. And we've been saying that until corruption and the rule of law, those twin, since we now talk about twin policies, those twin, I'm not sure what to call it, corruption and rule of law, if it's properly tackled, and properly upheld in that sense. So if you're found corrupt, you know, so the Arabians, I mean, the Gulf guys, they know how to deal with corruption in their way. Communist China know how to deal with corruption in their way. The global North, Europe and America, they have a way of dealing with corruption. We adopted what the global North does, and we haven't gotten the kind of results we need to have. Corruption has to be tackled headlong from people in government, people that just left government. If we really follow the rule of law, a lot of people will be in jail. I'll keep saying it, because we don't know how a lot of these politicians who now have war chests made their money. But if we just simple analytics, guys, of tracing how much you earn, what you were before you came into office, significant number of politicians should actually be in jail, because it's clear that a lot of them stole money. But, you know, it's a system. It's a system. So let's hope that there will be a day when Nigeria will be bold enough, or have a leadership that is strong enough to say this has to stop or minimize at a very drastic level. And procurement may be one of the ways, guys, to start off.
And it is not for nothing that, you know, we were saying yesterday that the office of the director, the helmsman at the commission, that's the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, is a very, very tough one. And that's why the exit of every boss of the commission is always, you know, shrouded in either controversial or difficult circumstances. So reminiscent of what it said, that when you fight corruption, corruption fights back. So, but we must continue to ask those questions. The administration is quoting EFCC seizures as some of its achievements. So how are those seizures plowed back? Under the administration of the former boss of the commission, there were also seizures made, that were quoted in the realms of billions. And every year we also talk about the return of the Abacha loot. So where are all those monies? So we must continue to ask those questions about the gains of the anti-corruption war amid the continuing conversation on the approach to fighting corruption and getting those who steal Nigeria's taxpayers' money jailed, accounting for it, and putting them behind bars, such that there would be precedent, for those who hold office. So it's an ongoing conversation, clearly.
Absolutely. So those are the front pages for you today. Some of them will definitely shape our conversation on the program this morning. The political situation in Rivers State, the state of emergency. Is it time to maybe win off the state of emergency? What is the temperature of politics like there? And of course, the security bit. So those are the front pages. We're going to show you the front pages on social media in a moment. Stay with us.